Hey, what's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Vega. Channel SerpentX Tech. Welcome back to another weekly episode or live stream of Caffeine and Crypto, where we go over some crypto news and some of the topics in general, maybe a little bit of crypto mining hardware or hardware in general, because this is a tech-focused channel. As you can see, I'm wearing a jersey of the team of my city. Excited for them. We'll see how things pan out going against a really good team. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, McKinnon, and obviously Andy Reid. But should be a good divisional round this weekend. But we're not here for that. We're here for cryptocurrency. Green Day, Bitcoin pumped up to over 23K now. Obviously at time of filming, as you can see. But will it sustain? Right? We had that nice little uptick where a lot of the bears or shorts were liquidated. That pushed us, up to that 20K level. And now we're at the 23K level. Obviously, because there's a lack of volume or a lack of Bitcoin on exchanges, it's easier to push the price up or push the price down. Because I think a lot of people are hodling, and that's pretty apparent when you look at the numbers, the charts, and all that stuff. A lot of people have removed their funds off of exchanges, which is smart considering what happened in FTX and the contagion and the meltdown and all that good stuff. Businesses and firms are continuing to feel the impacts of the FTX SBF actions. And so they're moving their funds to a more secure wallets, which is what we've been mentioning, a number of us, including Chump Change, Red-Handed Mining, Crypto Mikel, Rabid Mining. I could go on and on. Seb FinTech, get your funds off of exchanges, get it nice and secure in a wallet that you own the keys to. And they've been doing that, taking that off the exchanges. Obviously, there's, going to be some effects of that. And here's the effects, right? So this is on the daily. We see where the FTX collapse, happened. And we've been trading in that 16, 17K range for the longest time, right? And then towards the end, the beginning of January, we had a nice little pump up to that 20K arena. We got over a key resistance level at 18K, and now we just broke past resistance, because that 20K resistance, 21 high 20s, low 21 resistance was holding us down, but we just blasted through that. So now a key resistance level that I'm looking at is going to be the 24, top of 23, bottom of 24. We're obviously hitting something right here in the middle, which will be around that exact 23K mark. Can we maintain? Can we hold above it? Possibly, but we'll have to wait and see. Especially because it's something I want you to know. Just like I always say, during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, we tend to see an upswing in crypto. Not an upswing, a downswing in crypto, because people are selling their assets in order to cover for vacation, stuff like that. Usually around tax return time, we start to see an uptick as people get their money, their tax returns. They start to reinvest in various stocks and crypto, whatever. Again, going back to the holidays, not only they're selling their assets to cover vacation, stuff like that, but they might be doing some tax loss harvesting. And so people are going to get back into it, right? So we might start seeing, as we move into spring, a greener time, so to speak, across traditional stocks and crypto, but we'll just have to wait and see. Got a few articles here that I'm going to go over. Make sure if you need my attention to at me or send a super chat, please and thank you. But I'm just going to keep on rocking and rolling. Thank you, Chump Change, Magic Lucky, Nick Davis Audio, for coming along, Gandalf Gray, that one guy Oz. Appreciate y'all. But Bitcoin soars over 22K to reach 4-month high. Bitcoin rose over 5% to hit its highest level since mid-September. It just goes on to say what we all know, right? Because this is a new situation that we're in after the FTX debacle. It's positive momentum behind it, but we still have things that's impacting us that we're going to go through in a little bit here. But Bitcoin has climbed 11% in the past 7 days and is up 34% for the year. ETH has jumped 12% over the past week and is up 37% since December 31st. Crypto-related stocks also benefited from the rally, like exchanges Coinbase, which was recently up 10%, while Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital Holdings, or MAR, surged 9%. Traditional markets also edged up, with the S&P 500 hitting 1.9% as investors process a flurry of mixed earnings reports from big banks. You know, CPI, bank reports, whole 9 yards, obviously impacting or affecting maybe the mental status of investors and making them look a little bit more happy. You know, you got to stay positive no matter what. That's what I've been saying for the longest time, especially as we move through this crypto mining drought, so to speak, where GPU profitability is no longer as good as it has been, but it has been getting a little bit better. So first article, it's in the description. We're moving on. Dead cat bounce. Bitcoin price nears 23K and fresh 5-month high. Now, there's a bunch of other guys that do TA very well. You can go check them out. Jay from DC Adventure is one of them. Obviously, K-Dub, I talked to them personally at in Miami. Actually, just a regular guy, does everything himself, and you know, does a pretty decent job of looking at the charts and bringing you the data and actually sharing some of the moves they make. Now, I've been checking out Tom Crown as well lately, and there was a couple plays that look very interesting. For example, Trust Wallet coin, something like that, looked pretty good recently. I haven't checked it since. And Loop Ring was also another good play. Thank you, Stiggy38, for the 50 NOK. You were so lucky to be so rich. Must be lovely and have so much money. I wish. Almost got it would have been nice to hit the Bitcoin block. It could have brought like a lot of help to the family, considering the situation that we're in right now. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure if you guys knew this. I'm definitely not rich, but let's see here. Profile. Have an unfortunate situation. 2023 started off to a bad year. And what do I have here? All right. So unfortunately, my wife and I lost a dear family friend of ours that we grew up with since elementary school. She leaves behind her daughter, who is devastated, and family does not have any funds to cover funeral costs. If you can afford the help, please see below. Anything helps. And I posted all that on Twitter. A few people tried to help out, but anything did or will help out. We're trying to accumulate funds for her. I'm selling some of my digital assets to help cover the funeral costs, but there's only so much that we could do. My wife already participated. She might be watching now. She's been devastated, and she helped out with what she could. So we'll see what the end result is. I don't expect much, but anything to help out the little one and keep the family going would be good. But definitely not broke to where my bills aren't paid, but I can tell you my bills are paid. I'm just broke all the time, which is fine, because I'd rather have a roof over my head, clothes on my back, and food in my belly than living like so many who are below the poverty level and barely making it through. So I am blessed, but I am not rich. Bitcoin Ether holds steady after Genesis bankruptcy. Crypto traders say bad news was priced in. The path of the least resistance of crypto is on a higher side, one observer said, drawing attention to Bitcoin's tendency to carve out double-digit gains during the Chinese New Year holidays. Now, that's interesting, because I do remember seeing that trend that during the Chinese New Year holidays, crypto tends to pump up, and the Asian market is still involved, even though Bitcoin mining, or mining in general, from my understanding in Asia, has gone underground and is frowned upon. They still obviously are involved in trading. So we got Genesis bankruptcy, right? The whole impacts that it's having on Gemini, and the Winklevoss twins sending out their letter, which Seth and I talked about last week. So it just continues, which is why the title of this thing is Crypto Dip Incoming, More Dominoes to Fall, Moon When. To answer that question in short, I do believe there's more pain to be felt in the market. I do believe we're going to come back down. I think Paul D is on the fence right now about kind of taking some profits with their Ether and Matic, and then picking it back up as it dips down. I would agree with that. Take profits. It's okay to take profits. You know, a lot of people want to just hodl to the dear end. If you don't have a number in your head already, you should probably get one that you would sell your crypto at, right? You know, Bitcoin, and what are you going to sell at? You know, are you going to sell at 33K? You're going to sell at 63K? You know, get that number in your head and maybe consider, you know, 10% here, 20% there, 25% there. Take profits. It's okay. I know many of you are trying to like save to buy your Lambos and shit, but it doesn't always work out that way. But I still believe there's still more dominoes to fall or impacts to be felt. But I think it's towards the end. So when Moon, as I mentioned before, probably going to be like 2024, 2025, maybe mid 2024 or early 2025, somewhere in there, where we might get back to all-time highs, or at least reach those previous all-time highs, and then start putting in some new trails. But we'll have to wait and see how things go. Trouble in Ethereum. Devs divided over staking withdrawals in Shanghai upgrade. Again, me and Seth covered this in last week's episode of Caffeine and Crypto. What's up, Golden Wolf? What's up, Chili? John Germain, how you doing? Geek of all trades. Basically, we have a split of devs as far as the Shanghai upgrade, when it's going to happen, stuff like that. So let me see here. So Shanghai, as the article says, promises to deliver something Ethereum users have been eagerly waiting, a way to get back to 25 billion worth of ETH that's been pledged to the network through its staking program. There's just one problem. Ethereum core devs, the small group of coders responsible for making the changes to the network, are butting heads about how and when the upgrade should be implemented. Shanghai, and I mentioned this before, back earlier when people were saying, staking, unlocking, your unlock of Ethereum will happen during Shanghai. That wasn't the case. Now there's been some updates to it. That is the case, but how are they going to roll it out is the big question. So Ethereum moved forward. We know about proof of stake, blah, 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 beacon chain, yada, yada, yada. So by all accounts, Shanghai appears ready to be launched in March, which is what I believe we're still looking at. But recently, a vocal minority of the Ethereum core developers has begun voicing concerns that the upgrade is being rolled out too quickly, out of fear of public reprisal, as at the expense of technical costs that could have lasting impact on the network. It feels like we're not thinking about the long-term health of Ethereum core developer Micah. And I've been talking about Micah for a while. Him and Tim Biko, I talked to. I tried to get them on the show in the past, or I tried to get them on one of our Ethereum meetings prior to the merge, but they were both busy in various parts of the world. But Micah has been a proponent of sound-minded reasoning, advising, hey, we probably shouldn't do this, especially when it came to EIP 159 and the merge in general. But he feels like they're not thinking about the long-term health of Ethereum, and we're thinking, how do we do what the public wants today? And that's a good point, because you got a lot of investors, a lot of people, VCs in the Ethereum dev conversation or the Ethereum upgrade conversation, kind of steering. They want to do what the public wants, right? They want to make the public happy. They want to continue to attract new interest, new investment, new XYZ, new users, whatever. But at the same time, you gotta do a balancing act of making sure that the upgrades you're implementing are going to be moving Ethereum in a positive direction, in a better direction, and not just rolling out shit because people want it, right? It's really hard to keep up with. I can't make you all happy. Let's just put it that way. I can't, right? My channel is my channel for a reason. There's no way I can do everything in my power to make you happy. If I live for you, I don't live for me. But Micah and a few of the network's other 30-odd core developers are worried about the recent decision to forego a technical adjustment to Shanghai, which will expose Ethereum to unnecessary technical debt, with unknown implications for years and decades ahead. The tweak would have taken an extra 2 or 4 weeks to implement, but by these developers' estimates, an amount of time that rests on Ethereum's core developers weren't willing to keep the public in waiting. All right, there's some technical tweaks they want to implement, but because they don't want to keep the public waiting, they want to push forward with the Shanghai upgrade. It could cause some issues. So you're going to hear more information about this as it goes on from your favorite content creators, Red Pen and Mining, Chump Change, Rabbit Mining. Seb Fintech does a really good job at breakdowns and stuff like that. The hobbyist miner. So keep an eye on your favorite content creators as more and more information comes out regarding this whole situation that we're in with moving forward with the Shanghai upgrade. And Stiggy38, thank you again. I'm glad that we were able to get you to build a new PC or build a PC and start mining crypto. You're very welcome. Welcome to the family of hobbyist miners. right? I am not called the hobbyist miner, but basically everybody starts off with. My son just left for work. Everybody starts off with one GPU, a system. They start getting into it, start tweaking, and it just grows from there. And it's good to just be involved. Yeah, GPU mining isn't profitable right now, but GPU mining isn't the only mining out there. So welcome to the family. Good to have you. Looking back at this situation, I think they do need to take into account all aspects before they move forward with the Shanghai upgrade. So it's still looking like March. It looks like there's getting some pushback. Will they make an adjustment? We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to it. But let's explain the technical debt aspect of what I just read. Technical debt refers to future work or headaches created when software developers prioritize the speed of products release over perfect code, right? So fine-tuning the code, right? They just want to push it out as quickly as possible because that's what the public wants. They already said March. Now the public wants March, and they're going to do everything to try to hit that deadline. In this case, Ethereum's developers decided not to make ETH's withdrawals compatible with simple serialized or SSZ, a flexible modern encoding method described by developers as the future of Ethereum encoding. Instead of using SSZ, Ethereum is sticking with the recursive length prefix serialization or RLP, an existing encoding method that may eventually be phased out and retired. So that's one. And will it impact? Well, obviously it already is. So what side of the fence is everybody going to come out on? Micah is just one voice. And there might be a few people in support of what Micah's saying, but I have a feeling that a large majority of them, and no disrespect to any of the ETH developers, they look at me and see a miner and they think I'm a piece of shit. It's more or less doing what's right for the people, but also doing what's right for the overall project, Ethereum, right? You've been doing this for years. You don't want to roll out something that could impact or have serious problems in the future. So while the difference is there is highly technical and seemingly semantic, it could create unending headaches for Ethereum developers down the road, as large contingent of Ethereum's core developers have signaled their willingness to switch ETH withdrawals over to new encoding method in the upgrade following Shanghai, which is being called Cancun. That's what you're looking for right there, Cancun or SSZ. So just keep this on your radar. We'll continue to have more information as we move forward. I could continue to read through this article, but I'm just going to link it down in the description. We really just got to pay attention to the meetings and what's going on. I'm trying to see if Mike is available. Try to see if I could get them on for a little bit more information regarding the Shanghai upgrade. Maybe get Mike from Bitsby Trippin'. But everybody's busy. He's busy. I'm busy. So just bear with me here. Ethereum development firm Flashbot's eyes unicorn status as it seeks to raise $50 million. So Flashbot's or MEV, maximum extracted value. Was it developed by them? I think it was developed by them, wasn't it? Crypto Mikkel, are you still in here? Wasn't MEV, like Flashbots takes advantage of MEV, pretty much. Crypto venture firm Paradigm is committed to lending, blah, 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 yada, yada, whatever. Okay, Flashbots discussion over potential. Why are they raising $50 million? Let's find out. The startup is aiming to raise $30 million and $50 million at a valuation of $1 billion, according to a report which cited people with knowledge of the talks. Crypto venture firm Paradigm has committed to leading the investment. The report adds, Flashbots aims to mitigate the issues associated with centralized maximal extracted value. So MEV on a centralized system or network, which is what Ethereum is right now. Articles in the description. I saved that just now. Mitigate issues associated with centralized MEV. If you don't know what MEV refers to, let's go ahead and read this to you. So MEV refers to the maximum value that can be extracted from the block production in excess of standard block rewards and gas fees. This carries the risk of placing too much control of the network in the hands of the few sophisticated actors with the MEV know how to capitalize on block extraction at the expense of regular users. We've seen pools get away with this and make millions, if not quite a bit of money off of MEV in general. And instead of paying the miners, they paid themselves. But now that it's validators that are ultimately getting the funds, MEV is still and it's still there, so it still can be utilized. So Flashbots has been working on ways to reduce the negative effects of MEV through MEV Boost, which allows validators to request blocks from a network of builders. The firm claims to account for around 60% of Ethereum blocks, according to data on the website. The system received criticism last year around accusations that it was censoring transactions tied to crypto mixing service Tornado Cash, which was sanctioned by the U.S. government in August, after which Flashbot said it would open source its MEV Boost relay code, which people have taken advantage of. So, very interesting to me. We'll see how things go. So they're seeking to raise 30 million and 50 million respectively, with a valuation of over 1 billion. And they're seeking to mitigate the issues associated with centralized MEV. We'll see how things pan out in the long run. So Crypto Mikhail says, yes, correct in a way. Flashbots are FA, but MEV helped them do bad deeds. Correct. It's like a 51% attack. Not all bad until someone uses it for bad deeds. Sounds highly censored. Yes, Gordon, it is. All right. So we mentioned over here earlier the impacts on cryptocurrency that Genesis Global Capital can have because they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. We got something here from the Wall Street Journal, which I do not have a subscription to read, so I'm not going to read this one. But long story short, Genesis crypto trading arm is moving money around, assigned enormously amid a sibling bankruptcy. Sibling bankruptcy? What the fuck does that mean? Siblings bankruptcy. Okay. About 125 million was sent to exchanges in a run up to Genesis lending division filing for Chapter 11. It's still moving money around the blockchains. Asana business is still running at least somewhat as normal. So I don't understand that. And I'm not a bankruptcy specialist, nor am I like a financial guru. This is primarily entertainment purposes. But if you filed for Chapter 11, aren't you like not supposed to touch your assets because the court's got to like evaluate everything and then determine who's going to get paid first and yada, yada, yada? A wallet controlled by Genesis OTC trading desk sent about 125 million of ETH, FTM or Phantom, and USDT to Coinbase, Binance, Bitstamp, and Kraken on Thursday, the day of the bankruptcy filing, according to blockchain data compiled by Etherscan. In the past several hours, the wallets have transacted several more times, receiving almost 50 million USDC. The move has matched parent company Digital Currency Group, or DCG, which again Seth and I talked about, or Mind Your Biz talked about in last week's episode of Caffeine Crypto, if you want to check that out. The Genesis trading business will continue to operate business as usual. It's early yet, however, it remains to be seen how the bankruptcy of Genesis lending entity will affect the spot and derivative business over the long haul. Okay, I got it. I understand now. The reputation of Genesis is in a bin, says Charles Story, head of the growth of crypto index platform. I don't even know how to say that. Future, I guess Future, said in an interview with CoinDesk, maybe they keep some legacy clients, maybe as for introducing new clients, no chance while bankruptcy's in play. Long story short, they're moving money around. It seems like business as usual. But Genesis, I guess, maybe just their lending arm? I'm not sure how they're broken up. I don't pay attention to this stuff, and nor do I use assets that are tied to this particular thing. But yeah, it might be a little bit interesting to you. Moving on, we had an emergency meeting this week by the U.S. government, which is very interesting to me. The Department of Justice did post an article here that I will link in the description here in just a moment. But just basically using an exchange that maybe not all of us use, because maybe it was primarily targeted because the owners are Russian. I'm not sure, but because the exchange did not follow KYC guidelines or didn't complete KYC, know your customer, get data and information off of his clients, people were using it, obviously sending funds back and forth, whatever. It probably was used for laundry, or what they say, money laundering and so on and so forth. So they decided to make an example out of them. I never heard of it. I never used it, but maybe some of you have. Bits Lotto Ltd is the name of the exchange, and they used it basically as kind of like an example. You know how like back in the day, medieval times, people would, if somebody tried to kill, the yar or whatever, you would hang them out front of the gate, something like that, as an example of don't step on me or don't try me, bro. So this is an example to other firms or other exchanges, like, yo, you need to do this. We are going to crack down. We will find you and we will come after you. The Biden administration debuted a new power yesterday for fighting the Russian cybercrime and rolled out the first major public move of new government team devoted to battling illicit use of cryptocurrency. Both steps came as part of the international efforts to punish BitsLotto, a cryptocurrency exchange that U.S. authorities said helped criminals profit from ransomware attacks and drug trafficking. Now, we know Lazarus, the Korean hacking group, and a number of others do implement a lot of hacks or for example, ransomware attacks, and then that fund's got to go somewhere. I can't confirm if they say they were doing it. I can't confirm that the funds were being used or being siphoned through BitsLotto. But the arrest the exchange founder. They cut off the exchange from the U.S. financial system, and they say here it's really evident that they are rolling out both not only new soldiers but also new weapons against crypto and fraud and crime. Again, like I really don't understand. I think the memes were pretty heavy on this, and I'm sorry I'm lacking in words, but we had FTX and SBF happen. Many were impacted throughout the world, a lot in North America, especially big celebrities like Tom Brady, so on and so forth, that invested in FTX because of SBF or what have you, that were hurt by this. And the government's coming out saying, they go after some exchange that not a lot of people use. Maybe a lot of people do use, I just don't know. And it kind of feels like, congrats, I guess. You're protecting us from something small. Like, why don't you focus on the big stuff, right? Why don't we stop people like SBF from happening again? An exchange, creating some cryptocurrency out of thin air and then having, over 50% of its holdings in its own cryptocurrency, so that way they can pump or dump the price when at will, making more of said currency or of another currency. Like, it feels like they're not really protecting us. I don't know how to explain it. A lot of people did a lot of memes. It was funny. But yeah, was very interesting. BitsLotto, I guess, Hong Kong registered BitsLotto has received 2.5 billion in cryptocurrency since 2019, according to blockchain data from Chainalysis. More than a quarter of it came from illicit sources, the company said. The biggest source of illicit cryptocurrency sent to BitsLotto were addresses associated with crypto scams, darknet markets, and sanctioned entities such as High Risk Exchange. See, another one I don't know, Garritex, which was designated last year. Now, here's the thing about cryptocurrency in the early days, and it still lingers today, but it's a little bit more in the shadows. With cryptocurrency, if you're trying to make money, even if you're trying to spec mine and make money and profit, you got to be ahead of the curve, right? When you're surfing, you're not trying to paddle right when the wave gets there. You're trying to paddle before the wave, right? So you're trying to stay ahead of the wave so you can catch it, drop down, and go. A lot of people tend to find out things after the wave has already hit. So 9 times out of 10, when federal governments or country, state governments, whatever, are cracking down on people, usually these people are moving very quickly. They're going from one exchange to another exchange. You take down one exchange, a new one will pop up. That doesn't do KYC. That doesn't care, where you got these funds from, as long as the funds are moving through it, and they help set up tunnels or on-ramps and off-ramps that allow you to move your assets. So, they took down this BitsLotto exchange, but there's already another one. And then if they took down that other one, there's already another one. And so the money just keeps moving, and those people that are their main job is the dark web or illicit activities. They do everything they can to stay ahead of government or prying eyes. So while we never heard of it, while we probably never used it, obviously 2.5 billion is a lot of money. And I think they more or less looked at this one because it could probably be used for all kinds of darknet shit. But just because the word Russia pops up or Russian or XYZ, they're trying to shut it down. I think they're taking too much into just trying to stop Russia rather than protect users is my offside opinion, but not the full picture. Because again, I'm not privy to every single fucking ounce of detail in this thing. All I know is Bitslotto, cool, congrats. You need to do more to protect the average investor and user. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I know a number of you will. But anyways, yeah. So this goes on and on. I put the Washington Post link in the description, and we'll see how things pan out. But here's the official letter as well from the DOJ. And yeah, congrats, I guess. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I kind of feel like it was like cool, but like that wasn't the main problem you should be focusing on, but whatever. Moving on, because I do have a second show coming up here in a little bit. We're going to end early, and I will be back at 12 p.m. for right behind me. We have, well, it's just a box, but we got the RX 7900 XTX. I'm just going to go through some of my notes, some of my information, some of my data with you, and show you some of the hash rates or performance numbers that I got in general. But, yeah. Honestly, we could probably wrap up now. Yeah, because it's pretty much, that was most of the news, right? So crypto lender Genesis files bankruptcy. Bitslotto crypto founder charged with 700 million finance crimes. Okay, here we go. This is something very interesting to me, only because, let's go look it up real quick. Like, how the hell is this token still alive? I don't fucking know, but whatever. FTX. FTX token. I mean, obviously it ain't like it was back in the day. Yeah, I mean, damn. I don't know how this thing is still alive. 84 cents. Hit a high of $2.70. But anyways, the market for FTX kind of got a little bit, went up because of a statement made. Right, so FTX new chief executive John J. Rain III said he's looking into the possibility of reviving the bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange as he works to return money to failed companies, customers, and creditors. Very interesting. Obviously, the Wall Street Journal goes on to talk about it, but because of that, it pumped FTX somehow, and I don't understand why. I don't understand. I don't know. Crypto is so confusing. I don't understand it anymore. This is very cool though. Robinhood to add Dogecoin support soon for recently launched wallet. You know, Robinhood is something that I know a lot of average investors or average retail investors, average users are using to get involved in stocks and cryptocurrencies. So it's nice to see Robinhood rolling out various features that allow users to be more involved. All right, Dogecoin wasn't initially supported by the wallet, but the Dogecoin community is excited to hear that Robinhood is adding to it, but there's obviously some concern, right? So Dogecoin community voiced worry about its wallet's lack of support for the asset. The U.S. retail trading platform said it's hard at work on a solution. The news was well received by the meme community, especially because it revealed that Robinhood would soon begin listing new meme cryptocurrencies. All right, so Robinhood despite its what I would say stupid actions during the GameStop's or GameStop situation and AMC situation, is still continuing to renew interest in retail investors. But we'll see how things pan out in the long run. So let's see here before we wrap up the question. Sibling refers to a brother or sister. I understand that, but like sibling bankruptcy, what the fuck is that? What's a sibling bankruptcy? Hang on, where do we see this? What the hell's that? Amid siblings bankruptcy. I'm guessing so the siblings are having a bankruptcy. Got it. Okay. All right. I got it now. Thank you, Gandalf the Grey. Or was it Gandalf? Who was it? Who said that? Damn it. Where'd you go? Gordon. Thank you, Gordon. All right. So Gandalf Grey, I think it's good for the market that BTC is showing up even with the news. Means downward pressure is pretty much exhausted. Yeah. So downward pressure is falling off a cliff. But because the market doesn't have a lot of volume in it, there's not a lot of funds on exchanges, a big sell order could bring us down, and a big buy order could bring us up. We're actually pumping up right now, right? So we started at the beginning of the show at right around 23 and like $36, right? 23,036. Now we're at 23,167, right? So if we can maintain that and we can push up or move sideways for a little bit and then push up, that'd be great. Like, I don't want us to have this huge half pipe, right? Usually when we have a half pipe like that, where we're just going straight up, we'll fall back down. So it'd be nice to move sideways for a little bit, hold key areas, stay above key resistance, and then make that next step forward or onto the next. But we'll have to see how things go or pan out. What is this? Mikhail, have you seen this? RTX A6000. What is the latest generation? RTX A6000. So 4,000 on Amazon. I could have swore I saw something. Hash rate. Oh, gee, thank you for telling me everything. Seriously, the hash rate? The 93 at 240 mega hash. 93 at 240 mega hash. 240 watts, excuse me. I don't know why I keep saying mega hash. 93 mega hash at 240 watts. That's a little bit better than maybe some of the AMD offerings, but that's not as good as it could be, considering the fact that, 3080, because especially with a blower style cooler, that's not really efficient unless you got a what do you call it? A server case, then it might be a little bit better, but for $4-6 grand, I don't understand that. Magic Lucky says, I don't understand how Luna has over 1 billion market cap. Makes no sense either. Yeah, I don't these coins that have collapsed or these projects that have collapsed, the coins are still going because people are just still betting on it. That's basically it. They're just gambling. Right? When a coin drops significantly, they buy a huge bag of it, manipulate the price upwards and sell, and then that gets more people attracted to it. And a lot of trading right now is actually handled automatically by bots or algorithms or XYZ automation. It's not really people. There are some people that execute trades or put manual trades in, but a lot of the stuff is done automatically, right? You can automate a lot of your trades, your buys and your sells, your stop losses, all that stuff. So a lot of the back and forth trading or the minute by minute trading is really done automatically, not really done by a human. And there's so many different automated services out there. It can get a little bit daunting what the good one is. I use 3 commas, but it's not the best one out there. Top of the line firms or exchanges or platforms or whatever could cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in software to utilize, but it could make you a significant sum auto trading XYZ cryptocurrencies or assets or what have you. So very very weird, but 9 times out of 10, it's not really a human that's doing it. It's going to be an automated trade based on a human's overall goal. So we'll see how things pan out. Yeah, the exchanges basically are. The exchanges are keeping these coins alive. What else is cool? 4060 Ti specs. Look at this one. 4060 Ti could consume less power than its predecessor. 4060 Ti will be the first desktop to feature the AD106 GPU. Okay, 4352 CUDA cores. This is all speculation. Do we have final? I don't think this is final yet. So the 4070 non-Ti and the 4060 Ti are expected Q1 of 2023 or early Q2. So probably later on, maybe March, April, somewhere in there. So right around tax returns. Perfect timing. 128-bit memory bus. Oh my God, that is handicapping that card, guys. What are you doing? And I think Nvidia is taking, like I mentioned this in a video before. I don't think anybody really gave it enough credence. It felt like Nvidia was copying on what AMD did, right? Where Nvidia was implementing the LHR lock, AMD was limiting the memory bus and bandwidth to lock down the mining potential the card could have, but making it still good at gaming. Nvidia is doing the exact same damn thing, but limiting the memory bus, right? Considering what we used to commonly use back in the day, right? Like 256-bit is common for this range, right? Like 128, come on. Like 192-bit is like 6700 XT, obviously the 4070 Ti, 4070, but they're really limiting these cards, man. I don't like it. I don't like the memory bus being so low, but we'll see. We'll see how things pan out in the long run. But hey, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. We're gonna come back in a little bit with just another show or episode. Let's see what we got going on here. If you look at the channel, I'll go ahead and link it. We're gonna be doing some testing with the RX 7900 XT. I'm just gonna take a quick break and come back in a little bit with my results, my experience. We're going to be testing out some hash rates, some other stuff, and just chatting, hanging out. So I really would appreciate you guys coming to hang out. This stream will redirect you in a little bit, so I'm gonna be kind of leaving it alone for a little bit, and you're just gonna see my screen, but you won't hear my voice as we lead into the next stream. I'm gonna stop about 5-6 minutes early, so that way the stream can disconnect and get on a different key and then reopen it up, because last time, every time I started it back up, it would start on the same stream, Caffeine and Crypto. So we're just going to continue on. Let me know your thoughts about the decision from the DOJ. Do you use BitSlotto? Do you not use BitSlotto? Just let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Not too much actionable news this week, but hey, it's a green week. Enjoy it. Feel free to take some profits. You know, you could always sell little percentages here and there. Get a number in your head. Don't hodl to the end of your days. It's okay to take profits. Don't feel bad. Yes, you might take profits and then cryptocurrency pumps another 10x or whatever, and then you feel like shit. But it happens. It happens. If you sit there and you hodl and you just keep on hodling, no matter how high the price gets, you're not really taking advantage of the situation. If you are in the green and you're positive on your initial investment, it's okay to take profits. That's all I gotta say. Good morning, GTR, Chris GTR. We're actually ending the stream, and I will be coming back in a little bit, in about 15 minutes, with some data, or we're going to be testing out the RX 7900 XTX. We already did the XT model. We're going to do the XTX next, and I'm just going to leave you guys on screen for a little bit as I prepare, maybe grab a snack, and get ready for the next stream coming up in a little bit. Then Rapid Mining will be coming on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so stay tuned. We got a nice little Saturday loaded up for you guys, okay? All right, let's see which one we're going to do. But for my future viewers, thank you so much for watching. Please do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out. Make sure to get subscribed and hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. You all have yourself a wonderful day. Take care. I'll catch you next one. Go Jags.